I thought it would do them a disservice to say, you guys, you just have to go to work for your wives. You have to love your wives as Christ loved the church and give yourselves for them. And then we didn't say anything else, right? We didn't talk about the flip side because the flip side is friggin' controversial. Wives, you also have work to do. What if wives submit to your husbands is actually what you want? Because if it means trust, you genuinely want to trust and take that burden from you and put it on strong shoulders, who is excited to carry it for you.
That sounds wonderful.
And we are excited to carry that for you because we're wired for responsibility and purpose and to be seen and appreciated for our capabilities. We want to do that. Welcome to the Whisper and Flame podcast. My name's Michael.
And I'm Jen. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. So, have you ever gotten a speeding ticket?
Yes. Why do we have to start with shaming me every episode?
I don't think we start like that every episode. Just the good ones. So, have you ever cried to get out of a speeding ticket? Like you see the cop coming up, you start putting on the fake tears. Exactly. Oh no, I'm racing to get to my sick grandma or something, right? Like I can't believe this is happening to me today, right?
Mm-hmm. I never get pulled over.
Right. Today of all days. Okay. Have you done that?
Yes. Yes and no. I'm going to yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, I've cried when gotten pulled over for speeding.
Sure. Who hasn't? Not me.
Well, it was not to get out of the ticket though.
Okay.
I was young and it was probably like my first time getting pulled over.
Right. And you're old hat at it now. You get pulled over all the time. You're like, whatever, I don't cry now. Tough as nails.
Yeah, I wouldn't cry now. But no, I've never cried to get out of it. I've cried upon getting pulled over, but not to get out of a ticket.
Have you ever cried to get out of something? You're kind of a hard woman, though. You're kind of like, like you're kind of tough.
Yeah, no, I can't say that I have.
You just absorb it and move on.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine if I'm driving and then I get pulled over and then the cop comes up and I start to be like, oh no, and I start to cry? Could you imagine if a man cries to get out of a speeding ticket?
It feels like a double standard, but no. I couldn't imagine that.
I couldn't imagine it either. Like they would call the behavioral unit at the police station and they would take that person in for a 72-hour lockdown,
Yeah.
Like if it was a guy. If it's a woman, she's upset about the ticket.
Right.
I don't get the chance to be upset about my ticket
No.
openly. No. I feel like what I want to talk about today is the flip side of what we talked about last week.
Men and women.
Yeah, right? So, I was thinking about that ridiculous example of the speeding ticket thing and how there are legitimate needs that men have that nobody really knows about, nobody really talks about, nobody really addresses. But we're here too, on this planet. We have actual legitimate needs and we have actual deep emotions that makes us want to cry when we get a speeding ticket too, why can't I do that? No. But I was seriously thinking there's this whole invisible world that goes on in here that we don't know how to talk about. Men don't. And women don't know what to do with. And last week and the week before, we talked a lot about the Genesis 3 curse, the kind of the conflict between men and women. And then last week, we really talked about Ephesians 5 and that controversial bit, wives submit to your husbands, right? Mm-hmm. Which is, our eyes go straight to the controversy. And we're like, how could you, Paul? How could you do this to us, right? And so what we addressed last week was really how husbands can love their wives really well. But as I was listening back to it, I realized I didn't really talk about the flip side that much. I didn't really talk about how wives can take care of their husbands, can love their husbands really well. And so I think that's what I want to talk about today. So if we're not already in enough trouble, enough gendered trouble from the last 2 podcast episodes, let's step directly. Let's step directly into it.
You're already deep.
And like, at this point, if we get a bunch of negative comments, I'm going to cry like I'm getting a speeding ticket, but you're still not going to see it. In my bedroom at night with the covers up here. Oh my God. They don't like me anymore.
Nope.
If they ever did.
Insert foot in mouth.
That's my spiritual gift.
It really is.
This keeps running until this gets stuck directly into it.
Yeah.
Anyway, very flexible. So, I don't want to cry. I don't want to keep harping on this, but I don't want to cry in front of the police. I just like the option to. Is that too much to ask?
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Everything is voluntary. That's true.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to be judged.
But there's some serious consequences to a lot of our choices.
If your ask is, I want to be able to cry.
I want to be able to cry in front of the police and get out of a ticket. That'd be awesome.
And not be judged. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
But I don't want to be judged.
You're 100% going to be judged.
Don't tell anybody. Anyway, when trust happens, real trust, there is something very deep that wakes up in a man. What we touched on last week, just a little bit, was the idea that when a wife trusts her husband, like truly trusts her husband, that meets his deepest needs. And that's true. But we didn't really spend any time elaborating on that. And I felt it was going to be a disservice to our male audience, which we do have some. We do have some guys who are probably just here for you, not me. But but I thought it would do them a disservice to say, you guys, you just have to go to work for your wives. You have to love your wives as Christ loved the church and give yourselves for them. And then we didn't say anything else, right? We didn't talk about the flip side because the flip side is friggin' controversial. Wives, you also have work to do. And I don't really think people are equipped, men or women, are equipped in our society to understand what the needs of a man really are, let alone to like try to meet those needs. We don't even really know what they are. The one need we kind of know about is boning. That's kind of, when I say like, wives, meet the needs of your husbands, I immediately go,
sex,
bang it out.
Yeah. But
that's not what I'm talking about. Not necessarily.
Oh, wait, you guys have more needs than that?
We do. Shocking.
Huh.
We don't know how to identify them. We struggle to meet them a lot of the time. But we do have a lot more needs than just,
yeah,
the good stuff. But sex is a gift, right? It's not that isn't a need. That absolutely is. But just like for women too.
Yeah, I'd say that's both sides.
Those are co-equal needs. I mean, there is a biological aspect of how the male sex drive works for the most part. Again, talking in generalities, we can only speak in kind of general language here. But yeah, like that is a need, but there's so much more. And so I think we kind of owe it to our male audience to talk about that as well,
Okay, I'm very interested.
So, trust. To trust the vision or the call of your husband, of your man, awakens something deep and beautiful inside of him. It shows him that he's competent and that he has what it takes to meet the need and cast the vision, essentially, for the relationship, to lead it and to lead it well, right? When you can trust that does something in here. And I don't know how to describe it other than that, but what that does is really good. It ushers your man into the person that God has in mind in very real ways. So just off the cuff, right? Just here at the beginning. Does this idea kind of resonate with you? Does it feel real to you? Like, can you think back in your past and see how that has been the case for men that you know?
Absolutely. I'd say in both romantic relationships and in the workplace. I think that there is something hardwired in men, at least, again, generally speaking,
Yeah.
where when he's trusted with something, that does kind of, I see a little bit more confidence behind the actions.
Yeah.
I see more assertive behaviors in a good way, taking initiative, things of that nature. So what you're saying makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I've seen that in my personal life.
Yeah.
And now I'm just challenged to think about, in my marriage. Did I
Yeah.
see that in my marriage? Did I experience that? And I hate to say it, but it was more often I didn't see that
Yeah.
because I didn't give it. Right? Like,
you didn't offer trust
I didn't offer trust.
and invite him to rise into responsibility.
Yes. Now, I did see it happen for my ex-husband outside of our marriage where others trusted him, and he was the kind of guy that, if your car's broke down, he'll be there on a Saturday. What time you need me? I'll work on it.
Yeah.
But why? Because someone is trusting him.
Someone needs him.
Someone needs him, and he rises up.
See, we're wired for responsibility. We're wired to meet the challenge. And it's such a gift when someone trusts us enough to say, here's a real problem that I need your help solving. Which is why, and we talked all about this last week, but which is why, like when a wife comes to us with her feeling, we immediately are clicked into problem solving mode. Because it is loving to solve someone's problem, to help them. It is a loving thing to do. Last week I talked about how that it also feels like a burden to try to feel a feeling that's foreign to you, and to remain present and locked in with your wife. And it's uncomfortable and it is hard, and we're called to do that. That is what laying down our life looks like for you when we're not being chased by a hatchet wielding murderer or something. We don't have to lay down our life all the time, literally. But we lay down our life, or we lay down our need to be comfortable or whatever, right? We're laying down our thing to care for you. Your side is to trust that we will rise into the responsibility of creating a vision for the relationship and for the family that you're making, and that is going to be good. But I feel like we also need to have the caveat, like, if you're trusting a person who's hurting you, actually hurting you, like any kind of abuse that exists, emotional, physical, sexual, spiritual, mental, all of that, that person is not someone you should trust. I think I can say that safely. That's a relationship that needs to be cut off and moved on, because abuse is never,
No, right.
that's never okay. Never okay. So I'm not saying trust the wrong person. I'm saying if you're in a relationship of love and mutual care, these are the roles we take. And the flip side of the husband laying down his life for his wife is the wife trusts that man. And that trust creates the opportunity for him to continue leading and loving in the way that God wanted him to,
So it's almost like you're describing this framework.
Yeah.
For how men and women, the relationships, how we interact with each other, what that could look like and work out really well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a framework, right? Like we can't address every individual story. Like there's no way to do that. what we can say is there is a beautiful general framework in Ephesians 5 that is kind of answering that cursed environment that men and women seem to operate in, where there's all this conflict between us. Paul is writing to address that, and how in a specific like marital relationship or partnership, something romantic, that curse starts to get unmade, that we don't have to participate in the same old enmity and bullshit that's between men and women. We can actually, in Jesus, we can step out of that and into a better way. It's a general framework. And, last week's episode is called "This Episode Will Save Your Marriage." And I think that's true. I think both of these episodes, if you own as a general framework for how you approach your marriage, trusting and laying down your life, those needs meet the needs of the other person, or those efforts meet the needs of the other person, and they create an environment of real love, right? And I almost want to title this episode, "This Episode Will Also Save Your Marriage, Part 2, Men and Women, Part 3.
Yeah.
I want to name it something stupid like that.
That checks for you.
So zero people listen to it. What the is this? Or something like men have been lost, like men's needs have been lost or left behind. Because it's really true. Like, it's kind of, I don't know why it is, but it's kind of controversial to say, like, men are people too, and men have needs, and men feel very deeply. Even if we don't have access to it, even if we don't know how to articulate it the way a woman could, because we haven't been taught or we're not naturally wired to do that, doesn't mean that stuff's not there. That stuff's very much there. But there's no opening. There's no freedom to really.
It's because it's not socially acceptable. I mean, this is a societal norm, at least in this country, where you're a man.
Yeah.
Like, this is the whole gender role. Yeah, exactly.
You get a speeding ticket, don't cry, big boy. Just pay it, move on.
I was waiting for the wink.
Baby, don't cry about it. Can you imagine?
You cannot let go of that vision.
I can't.
No, but that's why I've thought so much about this since the last episode.
Yeah.
But it's so much more not only socially acceptable, but encouraged for women to talk about their feelings.
Sure.
I do see that tide changing a little bit. I do see that it's becoming a little bit more okay.
Okay.
For everyone in general to talk about their feelings.
Sure.
But it still is somewhat of a double standard when you get into the marriage, right? When you get into a marriage, it's like the man is supposed to be the strong one, the protector, the provider,
Sure.
and then the woman is the more nurturing type. I mean, these are like just general stereotypes.
Sure.
So when you're in an environment that doesn't support opening up or talking about your feelings or exploring how something made you feel or what you need.
Yeah.
Because that feels just as weak. Your needs, that feels weak, like emotions, feelings feel weak. So, of course, now you've got all these boys who weren't taught it as children. You grow up to be men and husbands, and you just had to suck it up all your life.
Yeah.
And now you're in this conflict with your wife, this woman that you've committed your life to when you have a family with, and you guys don't know how to talk about each other's needs.
And
well,
women,
no wonder.
And women aren't educated or taught how to care for the needs of a man. They're taught how to care for the needs of themselves. And men aren't taught how to care for the needs of themselves. They're taught how to care for the woman's needs. Now, men are better or worse at that. Different people are better or worse at that. I'm not saying everybody does it right. I'm saying the locus of control seems to be you guys. It seems to be that, like, we meet your needs and you meet your needs. And there's kind of nothing for us except to suck it up, big boy. Don't cry. Right? That's what it is. And I've had really intense emotional conversations with guys who have had it up to here with whatever is happening in their life, not just like romantic stuff, not just with their wives or whatever, but these guys really needed someone to talk to. They really needed someone who wouldn't judge them and someone who could receive the deepest things that are going on here. I've gotten the chance to kind of see that in a couple of friends of mine over the years. Those come about in activity. They come about when we're doing something together, something that is a shared, joint kind of like achievement together, or a competition with each other, or just something fun that we're doing that's more physical, that's more like out in the world. When our bodies get moving and our thoughts get moving toward a task or a goal, then sometimes our hearts get moving too.
Interesting.
It's like it all starts to flow, which is really interesting. And then that's when, you know, on a golf course, I've prayed with guys just like out of nowhere. They're like, I need to talk about this. Honest to God, that's happened to me. I don't know how many times over the last many years. And I feel like there's something really beautiful there and something that we're missing as a society. Like there is a missed opportunity with fully half of our population where we're not set up for we're not set up with the most appropriate or prime opportunity to be able to articulate those very deep things inside of us. And so they just sit there. And what you get are husbands who either get angry about it and dominate, but then you also have, for the most part, I think what happens is that men withdraw. So it's not that they become angry and dominant. Some do. What happens is they pull back, and you lose them because you were never taught how to be safe for them. You just weren't. We weren't taught how to be safe for ourselves either. We're all in the same boat.
So what is it that women are doing or not doing that's causing men to feel not trusted or pull back?
Well, I could answer that, but I'll get in trouble. Why don't you answer that? Why don't you think about what you could have done differently in some of your relationships that would have allowed for the people you were with to feel safe?
Yeah. I'm not proud to admit this, but I know looking back, it was criticism. Criticism was, and what that looked like was, yeah, I would get some help with something I needed help with, but it wasn't the way that I would do it.
Oh, sure.
And I can give a million examples, right? I mean, it could be something as little as you don't know where this dish goes in your own house, like something like that, or something a little bit bigger, forgetting to do, something with the kids.
Yeah.
But the moment those things happened, it was attack.
Is it worth it to put a dish in the correct place, knowing that this is one more link in the chain for losing your partner? Because you will make them go away. If there is this perfect standard that isn't his perfect standard, and he is expected to meet that perfect standard that has been articulated a few times, but let's be honest, he probably wasn't listening. So it's invisible to him. Life has come and gone since those conversations that he didn't really listen to all that well. And that's not his standard. If you're going to hold him to a standard that's foreign to him, is it worth losing him over that?
Is that what is taking away the trust that he needs to rise up?
Should that even equal trust? It's a dish in a cupboard. Should that equal trust? I don't think so. I don't know why that has a deeper significance, because it would have to. It would have to have a deeper significance. It would have to be like, he's not hearing me, or something deep, right?
Right.
for it to be about something deeper than just, I'm annoyed that this plate ended up in here instead of over here. Right? I mean, I could be wrong.
No, I'm just, you're really challenging me to think long and hard about these things because you used a word perfection
Yeah.
and standards.
Yeah.
And
What if we get it wrong?
it's annoying.
It's annoying. Is it worth losing him over eventually? Because those things add up. It's a cumulative effect. Criticism compiles and sits right here. And our nervous systems fry. And you don't get to see it. What you get to see is a husband who's like, I don't care anymore. Is it worth it? I don't think it is.
No.
I don't think it is. We have needs too. You wouldn't want to be criticized constantly. That doesn't feel good. For things that are small and don't matter. But it becomes a death by 1,000 cuts, you know?
And I think here comes a double standard because maybe it's just assumed that I don't feel like I'm criticizing anybody.
Right.
I'm just correcting.
Are you my manager? That's the question, right?
Yeah.
You going to put me on a PIP? Personalized improvement plan. If you don't know what that is.
I know you're really challenging me right now.
What's worth it and what's not?
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. But I also know from experience that it's also feels like death by 1,000 cuts on the other side.
Okay.
But coming back to where was I not trusting? What do I do that demonstrates I'm not trusting?
Yeah.
And the answer to that question is the criticism.
Yeah.
Over things that are my standards, not his.
Yeah.
Over things that, big picture, are not worth damaging the relationship over.
It will happen over time. If that's a continual cycle that you and your partner get into, at least from the man's side, and this is the only thing I can really talk about. I can't really talk about what's going on in you guys. I'm still in a fog when it comes to the ladies.
Yeah, you are.
Officer, she made me feel bad. I'm crying. Can you imagine? It's a compounding effect of negativity. And honest to God, over a decade of that, just you saying, hey, I need this. Hey, I need to talk to you about this, or hey, let's do that, or whatever. That, even just the introduction to you articulating your needs, which is a good thing. You should articulate your needs. Your partner should be able to receive those things. He can't receive them anymore because his nervous system fries out. And it's like he'll flinch. I've flinched in different relationships in the past because it's been such a long time of like, there's this problem, there's this problem, there's this problem, there's this problem, but you're not allowed to fix it. You're not allowed to solve this. You're not allowed to do this, or you're doing it wrong. And it's like I'm at the whims of a raging sea, and my boat is broken, and my rudder is shoved to the side, and I can't steer, and I can't turn the thing on. I can't do anything but get battered and just pray that the storm gets through. That's how it feels. Not at first, but over time, death by 1,000 cuts. Your nervous system fries. And so no wonder people withdraw. No wonder men withdraw. It's the only piece they can feel is numbness.
It does make me wonder, what if I hadn't done that?
Yeah.
What if I let all those, again, looking back, this is a decade ago, right? This was years and years. What if I had let that stuff go?
So this is what I think that people don't recognize, that criticism like that in a repeated way over time, that starts to drill pretty deep. even if it's just a drip of water over 10 years is going to create a chasm. It's just naturally going to erode away trust and the ability to love and lay down your life. And what that creates is just wanting to withdraw. So the relationship is more important than how a thing gets done or what it ends up as, right? Of course, in a partnership, in a romantic relationship, if you're living with somebody, there shouldn't be a massive difference in like how the domestic stuff happens, right? Like you guys should be able to talk about it and work out a system that works for you guys. There are always moments where somebody needs to pitch in a way that isn't normal. Those seasons come and go in life, but like in general, you have to be able to just talk about it and figure out a system. But the framework still falls back on wives, trust your husbands, right? Ephesians 5 says submit, but I think that word submit equates to trust. That's not what the word submit means in Greek, in the Bible, but it comes to the same thing. Wives, trust your husbands. Trust their call. And husbands, love your wives and lay down your life for them, right? So what if she's sick and you don't want her to come out to a kitchen that's got dishes and all sorts of stuff after she's just recovered from food poisoning the night before? Lay down your life, do the dishes. If that's not normally your thing, do a nice thing for her. Why not? Right?
Yeah.
That's laying down your life.
And
yeah,
trust means
he's got it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to give a counter example of he's had a bad day at work. I've had a bad day. I'm looking to unload and I can read his body language.
Yeah.
Trust means I'm going to trust him. He doesn't need to hear me right now. And I'm going to
trust what I'm seeing from him.
I'm going to trust what I'm seeing, and we could talk about it another time. I'm going to put his need for a little bit of peace so that he can decompress from his day.
Yeah.
I'm going to put his need above my need to get it out. And boy, am I bad at that.
What have you assumed that men have needed in the past? And have you tried to like meet that need only to find it rebuffed or pushed against, or somebody says no?
Great question.
I'm pretty smart.
I didn't say that. Let's not get carried away. No. I could. You're very smart.
I'm a smart ass.
Oh, that is true. When I tell you about this winking stuff, it's awful.
Somebody likes it. I swear, statistically.
Your mom. My mom.
Yep.
Okay. What needs do I think men have that I've tried to meet?
Yeah.
And I was wrong about it being their need?
Yeah, and they've said, I can't receive this or I don't want this.
Oof. This might sound really weird, but I think when I try to be over accommodating.
Like not like kind of pretending almost?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And I would say maybe it came across as pretending, but I was just, there have been times when I've just been over accommodating, and that's, it's like you're doing too much.
Okay. So like, almost like, I guess
I had a need, like I'm anticipating that there's a need to be catered to.
Okay.
If you expected me to say something else, we can go a different direction.
No. I'm trying to figure that out. Because I think a lot of people may think that men do want to be accommodated in that way. They don't want problems put on them. They don't want this. You're trying to be there and like meet a need, like a waitress or something. Like, sir, can I get you another sandwich or something? Like, but actually, especially in a work environment, and I think at home too, we can take straight talk. We don't need the edges sanded off. At least I don't think most of us do. So if you're over accommodating toward like an invisible need that you're perceiving that isn't actually there, I think a good fallback is to just talk straight. Because we're not just big hairy women doing it wrong. Like we're not just women doing the woman thing wrong. We're different. Like if that's not obvious, we are actually different. Still humans, still image bearers of God, but very different. Flip sides of the same coin. So like you don't have to sand the edges off of your conversation. You know, like you maybe would with a fellow woman, right? Like we can I just appreciate telling it straight.
You don't want all the details?
Well, it's not even about details. No, I don't at all. But the message, you know, like the inherent message that you need to get across, that doesn't have to be flowery. That doesn't have to make sure my feelings are super okay. That's just like, hey man, I need this. Really? Great. I can totally help you with that. So to accommodate a need that another has, I feel like, would you say that you do that with women?
Oh yeah.
You try to read them and then see how you can approach in a way that's maybe unobtrusive or
Yes.
not gonna cause a problem or whatever. Maybe?
Yes.
Is that true? Again, in general, I don't think you need to do that with men. I think most of us are pretty solid to just have a straightforward communication. I need this. I want this. Don't do this. Let's do this for dinner. Whatever.
I could probably get 80% there. I'm just being realistic.
It's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It would have to be something that I need to be intentional about.
Yeah. And
there's a stat on this. I wish I knew it. That women, for every so many words men say, women say X many words more.
Sure.
I mean, that is playing through right now.
Is that what you meant by accommodating? Because I kind of took it in a direction that made sense to me, but this could just illustrate the difference between men and women. You meant a completely different thing, and I was just like, oh yeah, you don't have to accommodate anything for us. Just be straight.
Not what I meant at all, but
right. Perfect. Absolutely. You didn't mean that. Of course you didn't. 100%.
But I do that too.
Okay, you do. What did you mean? Jeez.
I meant
get 80% there. Just say it straight.
Going above and beyond, thinking that I'm going to make him happy, but really it's just for myself or for some social standard that I'm not even consciously trying to meet.
Like
so
if you
let's say
throw a party or something.
Exactly. That's a perfect example.
Okay.
I'm throwing a party. Okay, of course I'm going to clean up the house, but you've seen all the reels about like women going crazy and someone comes in and like swipes a glove on the baseboards, like doing silly things like. But I can think back to like,
what are baseboards?
You're not serious right now. The bottom of the trim on the bottom of the wall where the wall meets the
trim?
floor. It's called a baseboard.
Okay, what about it?
You have to dust them.
What is dusting?
Okay, now you're being funny.
You don't have to dust those. I've never looked at a baseboard in my entire life. Ever.
Okay, this is why we need to do this episode. You absolutely have. Well,
no, you don't.
Okay, you don't have to. Okay. You don't have to dust. Okay, is this what we're doing?
I was just going to interrupt your baseboard talk because it's ridiculous.
You're ridiculous, and your
ridiculous.
baseboards are probably dusty.
I don't think I have baseboards. I don't even know what they are. It's wall then floor.
No. There's a board.
So you're talking about shit like fanning out napkins in a spiral, and nobody thinks about. You said really quick. Have you?
Yes.
So you've decorated in a way that no one perceived but you.
Everybody.
I'm just bursting balloons all day long. Oops.
Well, it was a party. I mean, it's very possible no one noticed.
That doesn't mean that the effort isn't worth it because you found satisfaction in it. Let me backpedal. Um, but if you're doing that for someone who doesn't perceive those details, you're just doing it for you, right? Am I right? Or am I an
Yeah.
asshole?
Two things can be true.
Two things can be true at once.
But I don't want to go to, I mean, I want to get back to your
Yeah.
question about the need.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
every question you're asking me, and I'm reflecting back, which is easy to do because I'm thinking about a relationship that was years ago that happened over the course of several years.
Yeah.
I'm really feeling like a selfish piece of shit.
That's exactly what I wanted to have happen here. That's not the opposite of what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted. Why do you feel selfish and like a piece of shit? That's not what I want.
I know, but I'm thinking back, and again, like we both had culpability, and I kind of feel like an expert talking about marriage because I'm divorced. So I'm an expert at knowing what doesn't work.
You did it wrong.
I did it wrong.
And doing it wrong is the number one way to learn how to do it right.
I way did it wrong. But yeah, looking back, I definitely criticized. I did not give him the benefit of the doubt.
All right. But let me take the heat off of it for you, because you also were never taught how to take care of a man, right?
Right.
You weren't. Nobody is. Nobody's taught how to do that. Not really.
And same. Would you say the same about men?
Taking care of women or
Yeah.
taking care of ourselves?
Well, both.
The fuck does that mean? You fat piece of shit. Is that what that means? Is it bread dough? Is it bread dough o'clock? Do I have bread dough on me? I do.
I said what I said. No, but don't you see, like, men?
But that's the importance of the framework, right? This is how we take care of each other, and nobody teaches it. Nobody teaches it. We want to be trusted. We want to be lauded and cherished. Like, this guy is amazing, and he has what it takes, and I trust him. And I think women want to be cherished and lauded and loved, and like, you're so worth it to me that I'm going to die. I'm going to lay down these parts of myself, or yes, even my life, to save yours.
But can I say that in a different way?
Yeah.
This framework breaks the curse and it works because a man comes into the relationship and says, I'm going to fix the problems.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the foundation.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do these things. And I'm going to just love you more than anybody else has ever loved you. I don't know what woman doesn't want to hear those words.
I'm going to remain present, and I'm going to stay here and see you when you are going through whatever you're bringing to me.
I'm going to listen. I'm going to be present. I'm going to listen. I'm not going to give you
Totally.
solutions. And guess what? We're going to have fun, and we're going to
Yeah.
be together and love each other.
Yeah.
And what does the woman do in return? I trust you.
I trust you to take it and go.
You want to do this? That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
You say something, I'm not going to open my mouth to some smart ass thing or some contrarian thing to say back just for sake of saying it. I'm not going to.
That'll kill love the other way.
I'm not going to open my mouth the second that you say something that I don't totally agree with, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Instant contradiction. Yeah.
Like it's all these little things.
But we all know this, right? Like, if you've been on Instagram for 5 or more seconds, you start to get these reels that are like, this is how men act, and this is how women act, and women are terrible, and men are the worst. Like, you very quickly get onto that if you're dating. You're in that algorithm real fast. But we all know what women need. We all know generally what men need. We all know these things. And the divorce rate is still 50% for straight couples. And why have we not figured it out?
Because it's the curse.
We know it, but we can't do it.
We can't.
Why?
I can't think of a stronger definition of a curse than people who have been doing this since the beginning of his time and still can't get it right.
Yeah.
We still don't know what the hell we're doing because we're cursed.
Yeah.
We're cursed.
Yeah. That's exactly right. It feels like a curse.
And Jesus, he fulfills the curse by absorbing it.
Yeah. He fulfills it because he's the offspring of the woman who crushes the serpent's head as his foot is pierced, right? So it's the proto-evangelion. We mentioned that 2 episodes ago. He is the one who fulfills the curse in destroying the effects of rebellion against God by forgiving it on the cross, by forgiving our sins on the cross, paying the wage of sin, which is death. So he dies, comes back to life, and gives us the chance to do the same. The curse is broken. He fulfilled it. And now we don't have to live in that place anymore. There doesn't have to be this fight between us, because the Ephesians 5 Apostle Paul framework for how to meet each other's needs steps outside of the effects of the curse. We don't have to live that way. But we have to be in a partnership that mutually explores that together. You got to do it the same as I got to do it, right? It can't be one-sided. If it's one-sided, you're going to fry. You're going to fry your nervous system. You're going to hurt yourself if I'm the only one laying down my life. Because remember, Ephesians 5:21, the whole thing starts with submit to one another in reverence for Christ. It's natural for it to be one-sided, but it's supernatural for there to be a mutual exploration of giving. And here's the trickiest, hardest part, I think. Also, receiving. Being willing to say yes to the person who is giving and trying to meet your needs. This is where I went wrong in a lot of ways in my past relationships. I kind of martyred myself and said, like, nah, I don't really need that. I don't really need you to do that. I never received, and so I never filled up. I was empty. It not only takes 2 people willing to submit to each other, willing to love and lay down their life or trust, but also to receive your trust and to receive my life for you and not to stop the process. And I think that's the hardest work of all. It's not to give a gift. It's actually to receive the gift. How does that feel? Like, does that make sense to you?
It does. And it feels a lot like when we talk about grace, just to have a thing that we're just receiving, just to sit there and receive it.
We hate that.
We hate it.
Yeah.
We want to work for it. We want to earn it. We want to fight our way to it.
Yeah.
We want to have it as a reward for being right.
Yeah. It's a good way to say that.
But that's not how this works.
No.
You
freely give and you freely receive. And you don't say no.
You don't anticipate outcomes.
You never say no.
Yeah.
You don't stop the process, because if you do that, one person will be empty and one person will be fried from giving. Yeah. So you need something supernatural. You need more than what we're capable of on our own. And you can white knuckle that. You can try to do that for as long as you want to try. But like, if you're generating that out of your own steam, your own imperfect finitude, you're a finite being, you're not going to achieve it. Not forever. And forever is what it takes to maintain a good relationship till the day you die. Very natural for it to be one-sided. You need supernatural power to step into what true love really is. And that's where Jesus comes in. The curse for us, the effects of the curse are broken, and we don't have to live in that anymore. And so we can once again, men specifically, can be cultivators of life. We are cultivators of life, not only in the giving of our own lives to our wives, loving them, but in the simple provision of seeing them, being present with them, providing that fruit to them, and cultivating that kind of a lifestyle where we are the life givers, the life bringers. And the only way to get there is through Jesus, the curse fulfiller, absorber, and breaker. It's a supernatural movement. We can't do it on our own. And so we have to rely on him to help us truly love and lay down our lives the way he loved us and laid down his life first. And you guys do too. Jesus is the true example of masculinity that we all need. Because I think our world is dying to meet what is truly masculine and truly healthy. But the world is dying for a true man. Dying for it. And I submit to you that you need look no further than Jesus. Because he is the true example of masculinity that, again, we can never live up to. In our natural states, can't do it. But if he calls out to us, like a rabbi saying, "Come, follow me, walk in my footsteps, learn from me, take my yoke upon you, for my burden is easy and my yoke is light, and no more will you toil by the sweat of your brow to bring fruit, but all you have to do is remain attached to the vine to produce the fruit of the Spirit that comes by his own life flowing in us." That is a movement from the natural to the supernatural, where we can love beautifully and well in our romantic relationships and in every relationship.
What you said was really beautiful. I did not find that offensive. It makes sense.
Okay.
We're different.
Yeah.
But we're designed to complement each other.
Yeah, it's a harmony. We're
and
harmonious.
If I could just relax and stop trying to control everything.
I didn't say that. You said it. I didn't say it.
But I know, and I've been down on myself a lot this episode, and
You shouldn't be.
I know, but it's.
Don't feel those feelings. They're not valid. See, I just invalidated her. Damn it. This is hard. This is hard.
It's learning, but no, I appreciate that we're having this conversation today because no one's good at this. No one's got it figured out. There's a gazillion books and we still can't figure it out. There's a million podcast episodes. We still can't figure this out.
Yeah.
So it's really important that we're talking about this. And I think it's fine to self-reflect.
Yeah.
But where things change for me is, okay, I see what I did wrong. I recognize the framework. I'm not going to shy away or be offended by strong language that society has turned and twisted into something that it's really not. So if I'm with a man...
You're not going to clutch your pearls?
I'm not going to clutch my pearls.
Good.
I'm okay. Jesus is my ultimate authority.
Yeah.
Period. I'm all down for listening and trying something new that's a framework that's biblically based. It challenges me to think about relationships in a different way, a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because I want to let go of the control.
You do.
I do.
You want to be able to trust someone?
Yes. Why do you find that? Why did that leave you speechless?
What a novel idea. Not just for you, but I mean, like, what if that's true of everybody? Like, what if? Let me put this together. Not only are you called to trust your husband, because I'm coming from a place thinking like, you guys don't want to do that. I'm thinking you don't want to do that.
My behavior says I don't want to do that. But when I sit back and I think about
what if he was truly trustworthy, and wouldn't it be wonderful to take that weight and put it on someone who was willing and excited to carry it?
Yes.
Wow. So maybe this is describing something that's even deeper than the surface level relationship framework that we're talking about. We're talking about What if wives submit to your husbands is actually what you want? Because if it means trust, you genuinely want to trust and take that burden from you and put it on strong shoulders who is excited to carry it for you.
That sounds wonderful.
And we are excited to carry that for you because we're wired for responsibility and purpose and to be seen and appreciated for our capabilities. We want to do that. Now, I think it goes the other way too, because like when I say you want to submit to your husband, well, hold on, because like on the surface, I'm also thinking like, well, men don't really want to lay down their lives for the wives. They don't want to have to sit here and remain present for another hour-long gossip sesh, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Spill the tea. But what if, and that's a shitty gendered example, right? Like I get it. That's me being a dick. But what if deep down it is our pleasure to serve you? Like, what if it is? I think it is. Because I'm excited to carry the burden for someone I love, to be capable and purposeful with her deepest needs, and to carry those forward into a place of hope. Like, that's why we want to solve problems.
Sounds beautiful.
Yeah. Just let us solve your problems. Just quit yakking about it. Just let us fix it.
Can we do both? Can we both complain about problems and you can fix some of them and not others?
Yeah. I think that'd be better. I think that's the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So men don't become these life givers whose pleasure it is to serve you by trying harder. Men become that by being transformed by the one who did it first, transformed by the presence of Jesus. That's how we become truly masculine, and masculine in the most healthy and holy way, because we're walking in the footsteps of our rabbi who called to us. In Jesus, men are freed from domination and control and withdrawal. We don't have the option for those. Our option is one thing: to love to such a degree that we lay down our lives for the people that we care about. Servant leadership. And for women, in Jesus, women are freed from fear and control and the distortion of those relationships as their desire is for their husband. That's a part of the curse, and they don't have to walk in that anymore. They can trust. And apparently you want to.
Apparently.
I think we all deep down, we want to trust. I think that's very real. You said something very true to your heart there, and I appreciated you sharing that.
The world doesn't need louder men or more dominant men, not more passive men. The world is starving for more men like Jesus.
Yeah.
And that kind of man doesn't come from a place of effort or trying hard. That's the supernatural. It just comes from being changed by him to look a little more like him each and every day.
Thank you for joining our conversation today. Give this podcast a like and subscribe to keep up with the episodes that we drop weekly. And if you don't like us, tell your friends about how much you don't like us so that they will hate listen to us. Right?
Who wouldn't like us? I mean, even if
A
you
lot
don't,
of people.
even if you don't like us,
Even if you don't like us.
because you're not everybody's cup of tea.
Boy, that's the truth. Story of my life, guys.
Okay, so if you like us, great, you know what to do. If you don't like us, sorry it didn't work out, but you can still tell people about how much you didn't like us.
I like that you said, sorry it didn't work out. I'm real sorry it didn't work out for you on this front. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. That's okay.